20 years you spent in the military, right? What is some good memories that you remember that you would like to share?
Oh, I got some good memory. Um, my first good memory I have from my camaraderie. Where I grew up at, where I come from, I had never interacted like for me, growing up, I never interacted with another race to not become friends or anything of that nature. Even after getting grown, the first time that I actually interacted and became friends with other race than African Americans after I joined the military.
Mm-hmm.
And so, but I have some great memories, and um, I have, you know, for me looking at it, I have friends now that I still communicate with from when I first joined the military up until this day. And some of my laughable moments was I I recall being when I was stationed in Quantico, Virginia, around 2000, 2001. I had got promoted to sergeant and everything, and the unit I was in, Marine Corps Warfighting Lab, I was pretty squared away at the time, and my sergeant major pulled me in the office and say, "Moore, I want to make you the CO driver."
Mm-hmm.
I said, "Okay, sergeant major." I said, "Okay, that's fine." I asked, and because he said that you've been recommended to be the CO driver. I said, "Okay, that's fine." I didn't think too much about it, but with that came, with this unit, if you're the CO driver, you also the sergeant major driver. The sergeant major used me 10 times more than the CO. I drove the CO a couple of times to DC and Auditorium, headquarters Marine Corps, for a couple of conferences and meetings. But most times I was the sergeant major driver. So my sergeant major, his nickname was Iron Horse. He's like, everybody called him Iron Horse, Iron Horse, Iron Horse for everything. Even you can call him Sergeant Major Iron Horse. He answered to it. And so my sergeant major, he liked to have a good time. He was a family man, but he also liked to have a good time. When I was stationed in Quantico, they got this little town adjacent that's on the bay they call Q Town.
Mm-hmm.
And it was a bar there. I think it was called Turn Tavern or whatever it was
Yeah,
called.
it might have been tongue
I
tied.
think it was called Turn Tavern or something like that. That was Sergeant Major's spot. So Sergeant Major would go there 3 or 4 times a week, every weekend, and get drunk to the point where he'll get his car keys taken away from him from the bartender and stuff, and he would call the duty.
Which would be you.
No, the person that's on duty.
Oh, the person
on duty,
Mm-hmm.
and they'll call me. In the Marine Corps Warfighting Lab, we had kind of like an unlimited budget, so I had a government cell phone that they issued me because I was a CO driver. So whenever they told me if the phone ring, I always answer it. The government cell. So they had the government cell, the CO driver, and my cell phone number, and then I had to have that phone on 24/7. And so when that phone ring, I answer it. Hey, you need to come pick Sergeant Major up from the bar in Q Town. Where it was a Friday night, Saturday night, it does not matter. It does not matter. I've countless times, probably close to 10 times, some even on the weekends, that the duty would call me. Hey, Sergeant Moore, just got a phone call from the bar in Q Town. Sergeant Major need a ride home. You need to be picked up. So it was a couple of times that I was probably in DC or somewhere when I wasn't even home, because I didn't live on base. I lived out in town. I lived in Woodbridge, and so I would have to drive on base. I couldn't pick it up with my POV. I had to go to the unit, go get the government vehicle that was assigned to our unit, which was Suburban, a black Suburban. Go to Q Town. And go pick the Sergeant Major up and drive the Sergeant Major all the way home to Fredericksburg. I did that several times. Several times.
How did you feel about that?
At the time, I didn't like it because it took away because for me, it took away from my personal time, because it seemed like he really never used me during working hours.
Mm.
He never used. If it was, he used me some. It was like to drive him somewhere on, like, Quantico's such a small bay, you can drive yourself anywhere.
Yeah.
But he would make me drive him to a meeting somewhere on the bay somewhere just to drive him. And so, and I'll do that. And so, but he would actually, but but he looked out for me though. But I did, uh, I did end up getting in trouble at Quantico, which
You got in trouble. What'd you
yeah,
do?
what in trouble was what ended up happening was that me being a young sergeant, whatever the case may be, I at the time that's when they started issuing government credit cards, the American Express government credit cards.
Uh-oh.
I started using the government credit cards. Other than you're supposed to use them only when you go TAD,
Only when you go temporary duty.
your temporary duty.
Yeah. What you started using it for?
Yeah, but when they first started issuing them, now these days, I don't know if they still doing, the admin, the S1 off can turn them on and turn them off.
Yeah.
But back then, it wasn't the system set in play where you turn them on, turn them off. Once you get to the Marine,
It's on.
it's on. Marine, they tell you not to use it. They didn't have the system in place to turn them on and turn them off when you went TAD. And so I had the card, and then I was using it.
What'd you use it for?
Everything I can think of. I was getting a hotel on the weekend in DC. I was getting cash advances. I was filling my own personal card with it, with gas. I think I was shopping with it. So the story was that the sergeant looked up for me. That's why I did learn to love sergeant, because what ended up happening was that they started cracking down on government credit card because there was a lot of, they call it fraudulent use of the government credit card, because more people were using it that when he wasn't TAD than they were when they were.
But was you making the payments?
Yes, but I was making the payments, but they start cracking down on it to the point where they start sending reports to the units. And they had S1 screw up the reports, everybody using their government credit card, and they checking to make, hey, did this Marine have orders during this time when you're using the card?
Made that purchase.
Then they had this, then they had to give it to the sergeant major and the CO and all that kind of stuff. So me and 4 other Marines in my unit, we all got NJP for it.
Oh wow.
We got NJP for it. It affected my career big time. Because
You was what rank was it?
I was a sergeant.
You was a sergeant.
It affected my.
You was a sergeant and a CO driver?
Yes.
Okay.
My CO was a full bird colonel though.
So you driving the CO and the sergeant major?
Yes, I was a sergeant.
And getting NJP?
Yeah, NJP. And after I got NJP, they never took me off of it.
Oh, okay.
I was still driver till I left there, till I PCS. And the story behind it is that it affected my career big time, because when I got NJP, I was in the zone for staff sergeant.
Oh.
Yes. I was in the zone for staff sergeant. I got busted down to corporal. Check this out. This true story.
Okay.
I got busted down to corporal.
For the government credit card?
Government credit card. It was 2 corporals. They got busted down to Lance corporal. I got busted down to corporal. This is a true story. I got to get it right from the other side. Pause. I got busted down to corporal, and this is the truth. And I think it was in 2001. That same sergeant major that I was telling you about.
Yeah.
He got my rank reinstated with my original data rank. The following year, I went from corporal in 2001, and I was a staff sergeant in 2002.
Oh wow.
He got my rank reinstated with my original data rank, and when he got my rank reinstated, my original data rank, got reinstated. When I got my rank reinstated, my original data rank, it automatically put me right back in the zone for staff sergeant again. I got selected for staff sergeant.
And got selected for staff sergeant.
But the only thing what ended up happening was that why I ended up staying in staff sergeant, because what ended up happening was that for years and years and years, man, I had a date gap from when I was sorry in my fit rep from there when I got lieutenant corporal that I tried getting fixed for like 10 fucking years, man, and just never got fixed, man. And that in a mess. But I picked up. I got reduced to corporal in 2001. At the end of 2002, for our PCS, I was a staff sergeant. We was TAD, and Sergeant Major called me personally because he was back in Quantico. He said, "Hey, Moore, guess what? You just got selected staff sergeant." I said, "You bullshit." Cause when I got reinstated, I had only been a sergeant for 3 months. But just so happened it was this perfect timing when the board was convening, and I got selected off that board, man. He took care of me, man. And but somehow, some way, the gap of me being that corporal for that almost a year or so, and they just couldn't figure out how to fix it. I don't know how to do. They couldn't figure out how to fix it, man. I don't know, man.
Usually they can put like an admin filler in there.
I don't know whatever they didn't do it for me right, man, and they didn't do it for me right, man. And the rest of my career, I had a gap in my fit reps, and that's what stopped me from getting promoted, man. I had like a year gap in my fit reps. And that affected me from getting promoted the whole time. And he took care of me, man. And he would hate to see me leave, man. As a matter of fact, when I got was time me to leave, I had got orders, and because the monitor's on Quantico, so I went and personally talked to him. I was ready to go, man. So I made he didn't even want me to leave, man. He didn't even want me to leave.
Was that the only time you ever got NJP?
Only time I ever got NJP, behind a government credit card. And the CO that busted me down, he was a full bird colonel. Sergeant Major was in there, the NJP. I never forget that. He said, "I'm gonna reduce you down." He said, He said, "You know better. You my driver." I said, "Okay." I said, "Yes, sir." Whatever could be. And so, Sergeant Major came, took my Chevrolet. I popped the motherfuckers off there. He had already bought me corporate Chevrolet. I guess he had already told him. He pinned me on corporate Chevrolet and everything. And don't forget, man. Remember that the damn car wash right there in front of the Bank of Marine Corps Federal? Car wash. Man, I got in my car. I went and cried like a damn baby, man. That car wash, man, for like an hour, man. I cried like a damn baby. And then I told I said, "Sergeant Major," I said, "I can't drive the CO no more." And he called me in the office. He said, "The CO said he still wants you to be your driver." I said, "Why would you say you want to drive?" He said, "He really like you, but he just had to make an example of you because you his driver and you supposed to be." And he said you was highly recommended to be a driver, but he said that by him NJP and his own driver down, they're gonna put fear in other people. Oh, he busted his driver down like that. I know we don't stand a damn chance. And that's what he did, man. And I was his driver to our PCS, man. As a matter of fact, I got promoted to staff sergeant a few months before our PCS, and they still kept me his driver until our PCS. I was a staff sergeant, still the CO driver. Yep, I didn't give a fuck then that time. I had orders. I didn't give a fuck. I had orders. I had orders like 6 months. I didn't give a fuck. I was just chilling, man. And so I was like, man, and that was a good time. And then I worked with some great people, man. I worked with some great people. Then when I went to Pendleton after I left, I ran. It was kind of like how Miramar was. The S1 chief was a brother.
Black dude.
S2 was a black dude.
Black dude.
The S3 was a master sergeant. He was a black dude. My S4, I was at this unit, there was an S4 chief, and then there was an embarkation chief. I was the embarkation chief, y'all black. The S4 chief was a black dude. And so it was all brother. We all came, we deployed together and everything, man. And in that time, we went over there, all the staff.
So as a chief level, was this ever the first time that you had
first time, yeah. First time.
First time.
Because being that I had missed and got in trouble, I was a young staff sergeant. I wasn't even a staff sergeant in 6 months when I had PCS there. And so, and that was all. And I actually enjoyed it. We had some good times. The master sergeant, man, he lived in Temecula. He used to invite us all over to the house, man. We used to go playing cards and spades and all type of stuff. His wife was a chef, man. She used to be cooking for us, man. But she only invite the black staff NCOs. She'd be cooking for us, man. Having cookouts on the weekends and stuff. He had a house, man. He had a pool in his house.
Cause you know, by the time when I met you at California, I met you in California. We was in Miramar.
Mm-hmm.
We was in Miramar. It was crazy because when I first got there, you know, you was the logistics chief.
Mm-hmm.
You was S4.
Mm-hmm.
S2 was McKnight.
Mm-hmm.
You know, he's a black guy. You black guy S4. S3 was me.
Yep.
I was black guy. You know, S1 chief was a gunny.
Yeah, yeah.
But it was Asian dude.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
But he did have a sergeant that was kind of like
Duncan, whatever. Dogan, yeah.
Dogan. So S1, S2, S3, S4, all of us. And then when we got ready to deploy, you had the maintenance chief.
Yes, he was black.
Black dude, you know, airframe chief.
Yep, black.
Ordnance chief.
Gunny Robinson.
No, he was Gunny Robinson
Was the what you call it?
The aviation supply. No.
Whatever you call it.
Yeah,
the admin stuff.
Yeah, aviation admin. He was black, Gunny Robinson. So like 232.
What was the guy from Atlanta? The Gunny name?
Gunny Ashew.
Yeah.
He was airframe chief.
Yes.
So all of us went on this deployment.
Yes.
The chief was black.
Yes.
And that was the first time I was ever exposed to something like that, and I was shocked. But we got along great.
We got along great.
I thought the camaraderie was good. I thought the command didn't have any issues and stuff like that.
No. It was a good unit.
And then when you left, Gunny Garcia, he came in, you know, and he took the place of it, and he fell in just well. We didn't really had no issues. You know, the way we dealt with Marines, it was all like collectively, like your Marine was my Marine.
Yeah.
If you got on to mine, I got on to yours. It was everything that we took care of each other. It was a good group, you know, but then we all had PCS and stuff. We had to go to different duty stations, you know, but it was a good time. But it's not necessarily about you, but anyway. So you said that was good time you being NJP? It don't sound like you had too many bad times.
I didn't.
In the Marine Corps.
It wasn't a good time that I got NJP, but the fact that what the sergeant major did for me, it was it was one of a good time because I never had a white person look out for me like that because he didn't have to do that because he called me off one day. He said, "Look, this is what I'm gonna do for you." He said, "I didn't agree with it." He said. He said, I got a report on my desk right now. We got staff NCOs that's abusing the government credit card. So I didn't agree with it. He said, I know you was in the zone. He said, I didn't agree with the CO, but you know, he said, what I'm gonna do? He had the S1 chief, he was a brother. He ended up picking a warrant officer, right up there, everything, man. And I don't know who he sent it. You know, here come Marine Corps right there in Quantico, man. And man, they gave me my data rank back, but I would like it wasn't no you got the cutting score to be sergeant. It just reinstated me with everything, man. And I had never experienced that, man. I never experienced that. And you know what else? You know what else Sergeant Major did for me? That I forgot to mention to you? Sergeant Major, the CO told me I had to pay my balance off by a certain time. Sergeant Major wrote me a personal check to pay my balance off. I paid him back. He took his checkbook out. I think it was like $2,600. He wrote me a personal check. He said, you got 90 days to pay me back.
Oh, wow.
I've never experienced that before. And that what made me, loving that guy. And that was a great experience for me. I never experienced it before. Never experienced that before.
Somebody was willing to do
it. And he was a white guy. And he was sorry, he didn't have to do it. He didn't have to do it. And he was a good guy. I think he did that for me because he know I had looked out for him so many times for being drunk. You know what I'm saying? I told you that he had me drive him all the way to Virginia to do something down there in a government vehicle, and all the way back. It was like a 5-hour trip, man.
There and back all one day?
One day, and he be sleep the whole time. sleeping off that liquor.
Mm. So, last thing, we're gonna get ready, get into the end.
Mm-hmm.
So, how do you see your kids transition through the military? You got a lot of military kids. You know, like, how do you feel relationship is with your kids?
Well, you know, when I retired, my youngest son was Vincent Jr. When I retired, he was only 2 years old when I retired.
Okay.
Because he was born in 2007, and I retired in 2009.
So all he knows is Georgia.
All he knows is Georgia. When we moved here in December 2009, he was 2 years and 3 months old.
But he was born in
San Diego, California.
San Diego, California.
And my wife at that time, she already had 2 daughters, mm-hmm. which is Marisha and Maya. And they was young when I met them, because when I met her, I think Maya was 1 year old and Risha was like 3 or 4 years old at the time. And the transition was that, you know, when I met their mom and got their mom, they wasn't even in school. They weren't even school age then. Mm-hmm. And so the transition was like, so for me in that situation, it wasn't that bad, because we never left California or had to uproot them until I retired.
Yeah.
Because when I met them,
So everybody was relatively young when you retired.
Yes. And I was and I met them at Pendleton, and then when I left Pendleton, I went to Miramar. Mm-hmm. They was in San Diego the whole time. The only time they left San Diego when I retired and moved to Atlanta. Mm-hmm. So the transition wasn't that hard, because they didn't have to experience me going from do this station to do this station to do this station. VJ only moved one time, moved from San Diego to Atlanta.
But he was probably young enough.
Yeah. All 3 of them moved one time from San Diego to Atlanta. That was it.
And how do you feel like they adjusted here?
I think just that they actually like it, because they have had the opportunity to move or leave to go elsewhere now since their age, and they have chosen still to stay here. You know, and so I think they like, because Atlanta shows them that a African American black person can be successful, can be anything they choose to be. You didn't necessarily see that in California, because as I recall, I don't even recall my kids even having a black teacher in California.
So let me make a point. When you say, you know, a place like in Atlanta, that your child can actually get to see that they can be what they want to be, I like to just always clarify what that means. You know, like, since I've been here in this area, you know, dentists, people that work at dentists are black.
Yes.
You have black dentists. You have black doctors.
Yes.
You have black veterinarians,
yes.
black teachers. You have black judges, black lawyers. You have black cops, police chiefs, fire chiefs, you know, city councilmen, state, like, in every facet of the government and job, you see black people.
Yes.
There's not a shortage of a black person that's not in any position.
And that's not something they was accustomed to. You don't see that in San Diego, California.
No, you don't see that in a lot of places.
Yes.
But people don't believe it exists. But here it's like,
yes, it's the norm.
It's normal.
Yeah, it's the norm.
Like people, like black people that work on power lines.
Yes,
electricians, plumbers.
Even in your field, you know, like they didn't have like black teachers or nothing. And like you go to these schools here in Atlanta, majority of the teachers are black.
Yeah. Black male teachers, female teachers.
Yeah, yes, and you know that tells you know that every one of those teachers, every one of them have education.
Yes.
They've been to college and graduated.
Yes. Doctors, masters, bachelors.
Yes.
Using their education. It's all over the place here.
Yes.
Yes.
And it just it's amazing me. Like we flew to Bahamas, man. My wife had lost her dad. Two black pilots was the pilots. I'd never experienced that, man. Two black male pilots, man. I had never seen that until I was in Atlanta. It's amazing, man. And so I think that here in Atlanta, they have a opportunity and they have to drive this to want to do better. Because in California, just the cost of living alone, man, you have to. People live there and they don't know how to do it, but I don't know how they do it, man, because it's so expensive out there.
Yeah. Yeah.
But it's done. Well, I guess you get some.
And what I do like to know is like you also see poor black people, and you also see rich, and I want to say wealthy black people.
Just true.
You see a whole block of people, mini mansions. You see a whole block of people in projects.
Yes, yes.
So it's like everything that you experience is here.
Yeah, 100%.
And I think it's always been an experience. My kids recognize that too when they came here.
Yeah, like it was like mind blowing. Like for VJ, this is all he know. But Richard Meyer, older Richard Meyer, because Richard was when we moved here. Richard was in where Richard was in
Like going to middle school. Or
middle school, like in 8th grade. I think Maya was like in the like she was in the 8th grade. Maya was in the 5th grade. So they was old enough to see and realize. You know what I'm saying? VJ wasn't even in school, man, which has worked out kind of good with my retirement because I've been hands-on physically being a stay-at-home parent with VJ since 2013.
Mm-hmm. Back and forth to schools, appointments.
Yeah, because VJ didn't start riding the bus until he was in middle school. So from kindergarten to 5th grade, I drove him to school and picked him up every single day for 5 years straight. 5 years straight. Then in middle school, he asked me I was still gonna do it because I had got to know him. He asked me could he start riding the bus.
Okay. And last thing, is there anything else that you want to say? Just about your life.
As I sit back and reflect on it.
Go ahead.
If I sit back and reflect on I think I've done everything I want to do in life. Like now, with my current wife, I'm a lot older than my current wife. And so I have to be cautious because at my point in my life now, I'm a homebody. Like I have to make sure that and realize that I got a younger wife and I have to do stuff with her and stuff because I'm content at being at home. I've done everything. I've traveled a lot, been to a lot of countries that I've never ever would have ever been to in my life if I had never joined the military. I've seen a lot of things. I've done a lot of things. I'm financially comfortable and everything, and I think I've done everything I want to do in life now, and I'm happy and content. If my life were to come to an end, I would say, my words would be, I lived a good life, man. I enjoyed myself. I done everything that I want to do in life. I really do. I don't think that I have any regrets because I think sometimes people are in your life for a reason and a season. So I'm with who I'm with right now, and I'm happy and content, and my life is comfortable, and I don't think I would change anything. I'm just glad to be that I'm still here. I'm glad to be. I've had some health scares and everything, but I'm dealing with that as we go, and I'm just but if I were to be taken away, I wouldn't, or if I got to a situation where I wasn't physically able to do anything, I don't think I would sit here and say, I wish I would have done this when I was able to. I wish I was done this when I was physically able to do it. I've done everything. Sometimes my wife will say, let's go do this, let's go do this, let's go do that. And sometimes I just force myself to do it because I don't done everything I want to do.
Yeah. It's like repeating it.
Yes.
Like what we gonna do? We gonna go to strip mall? I've been there.
Yeah.
Where we gonna go out to eat? I did it.
Yeah. Like my wife, She never been to Vegas. She want to go to Vegas. Been to Vegas 20 times. She want to go to. She never been to California. She want to go to California. You know, I spent 12 of my 20 years in California. She want to do that stuff. She want.
So the military have exposed us to so much.
Yes,
that people can't believe it.
Yes, and so that so now I'm just living my life through my wife and my kids, man. Just trying to everything that I do with them, I've done, and so I just do it so they can experience. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Because I'm happy and content, man.
Okay. Well, I would like to say this. You know, I always try to conclude on a good note. I want to appreciate the time talking. But one of the things that I could always say that I take from it is that, like the idea of coming from a small town, living close inside a big city, in a 10 times bigger house, you could never envision that. But you know, somehow you envisioned that. Yeah. And made that vision happen. Yeah. So just to sit up here and talk to you, I always tell I'm interested in so much of people's stories and, you know, the idea of where you came from to where you've been and what you've done. I've always heard the stories, and I like to capture them. I like just the people that's around in my life to capture those stories, to be able to show everybody else what I seen, what I know, and what I value in that journey. Because man, you've accomplished a lot. You have. And you said it best, you know, it's like, man, you feel like I've reached the mountaintop. And sometimes you don't have to make $1 million to have touched the mountaintop.
And you know something funny you said? Because I already said, because one time you came over here to visit me and you asked me a question. You said, what's your definition of success? And you told me some people are definition of success of what they're currently doing.
Yeah.
And that might be success to them. Mm-hmm. Some people working in a fast food restaurant, that might be success to them because you don't know their story.
Mm-hmm. And some people believe success is me earning $5 million, $10 million.
Everybody's not going to be millionaires. Everybody's not going to be doctors. Everybody's not going to be lawyers. Everybody's not going to be there. Your success, everybody's success is different. And I honestly feel like that
you're successful.
I'm successful. I'm not rich, but I feel like I'm successful. I accomplished a lot of things that I never thought I would accomplish. And I feel like I'm successful. And I'm happy and content. I don't have no complaints, man. I live a comfortable life. I don't have to wake up, wear my bills on, to wake up. Man, it's comfortable. I'm telling you, I just don't, man, like I was telling you the story about when I say we, as people, we always can find things to complain about. We always complain, like when this little hurricane thing came through here and scared us in Georgia, where the case may be, people complaining. I try to like say, you know what? We were blessed because all we did was lost power for a minute. And that was it, man. I say people done lost everything, man. And you know something? Let your lights get cut off or your water get cut off or something. You get real humble. You get real humble.
And people can't turn it back on.
Can't turn it back on. You get real humble.
Real quick.
Real humble. It brings a humbleness out of you. I'll tell you that right now. You get real humble, man. Real humble. You don't realize, imagine the power being off right now, man, and you can't, and it ain't gonna come back on. And you sitting in this dark right here. Man, you get real humble, man. And I appreciate the small things in life now, man. I don't need much, man. Like I say, I'm like, when you ask the question, why I get married again? Because I enjoy family, man. That at my point in my time in my life now, I enjoy family. I enjoy having a wife and kids and just being a family person and just waking up every day and doing family things, getting the kids off to school and doing. I enjoy just that part of my life because I've done everything I want to do in my 20s and 30s. Now I'm in my 50s now, man, and I look at things differently now. And that what my happiness comes through taking care of my family.
Okay.
Where you going?
Home.
Where's home?
Home, a place where I can go to take this off my shoulders. Someone take me home.